Well, you know how sometimes things come in threes?
What?
Like Sloppy Joe messing up Laken Riley's name during a State of the Onion address.
It's true.
Then doubling down in a CNN interview where he defends said illegals.
What the fuck?
And now third, CNN refuses to ban an ad that calls out Sloppy Joe in regards to illegals who killed Laken Riley.
Fuck.
Yeah, we truly live in a garbage society.
Kyle, your facts are starting to piss me off.
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this.
Are you retarded? It's not a rhetorical question. Are you retarded?
It's what's next. Happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jazz Berganzo. What's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today and being well. Sometimes you just got to shake your head on how society is today. You just got to shake your head and go, why? Why do things happen the way they do? When you have an innocent woman who decides to wake up one morning, decide to go for a morning jog, and she can't even have that because she ends up getting murdered. And that's bad enough. That is tragic enough. But when the person who murdered her should have never been in this country to begin with, and had things been different, she'd be alive today. Well, this is where we are. I bring that up because at State of Union, you had one Sloppy Joe who mentioned Laken Riley's name, but didn't mention Laken Riley's name. Mentioned Lincoln, but not Laken. So that was bad enough. Then in a CNN interview, he sits down and defends the illegals by calling them undocumented. You know, I had to catch myself. No, we can't call them illegals. Got to call them undocumented. But no defense of Laken Riley, of course. And now we have CNN who decides, you know what? We're not going to show an ad slamming Joe DiMencia's border policy because it's total garbage, and they know it, because it mentions the illegal who killed Laken Riley. And here we go. This comes out of Outkick. CNN refused to air ad faulting Biden for Laken Riley's murder. Laken Riley's death is a story that Joe DiMencia cannot suppress. Her death, caused by an illegal who easily entered the country via DiMencia's border policy, could have impact on the 2024 election. Immigration is already number one concern among voters in the most recent poll. So it's hardly a surprise to see CNN perform damage control for Joe DiMencia. Last week, CNN declined to air an ad that faults Biden for Laken Riley's murder during his eccentric State of the Onion address. Quote, CNN and Joe Biden are in lockstep once again, said the conservative nonprofit outfit, Buildings America Future. Quote, it's shameful that CNN is censoring the truth and trying to protect Joe DiMencia by refusing to air the ad. The American people understand that Biden's open borders agenda is responsible for the death of Laken Riley, Cox continued. Building America's future won't be deterred when it comes to the important work of informing the public on how we are less safe under Joe Biden's America. That's fact. Interestingly enough, MSNBC ran the ad during the speech, as did the Fox News channel. Interesting. Laken Riley should have been able to go on a run, a broad daylight, without being murdered by a legal immigrant. But Joe DiMencia's promise not to deport illegal immigrants begins the ad. Hard to argue. And here's the ad.
Laken Riley should have been able to go on a run in broad daylight without being murdered by an illegal immigrant.
True.
But Joe Biden promised not to deport illegal immigrants.
Should that person be deported? That person should not be the focus of deportation.
Biden vowed not to detain illegal immigrants who crossed the border.
No one would be put in jail while waiting for their hearing.
So when Jose Ibarra crossed into America illegally, he was not deported. He was not put in jail. Biden also supported sanctuary cities.
Should
Fact.
undocumented immigrants arrested by local police be turned over to immigration officials?
No.
So when Jose Ibarra was arrested in New York City for endangering a child, he was freed a second time. Ibarra went to Georgia, where he beat Laken Riley to death. How many more killers has Biden set free? Building America's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Wow.
I noticed the look of surprise on your face when you walked into the chamber and you saw Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was priceless. You feigned shock at seeing her. But during your response to her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look, when I spoke about the difference between Trump and me, one of the things I talked about on the border was that the way he talks about vermin, the way he talks about these people polluting the blood. I talked about what I'm not going to do, what I won't do. I'm not going to treat any of these people with disrespect. Look, they built the country. The reason our economy is growing. We have to control the border and more orderly flow, but I don't share his view at all.
So you regret using that word?
Yes.
Powerful. Extremely powerful. My thoughts. Extreme facts in that minute ad. That ad should have been aired everywhere. That's why it's very surprising. It is very surprising that MSNBC actually aired it. And Fox News, by the way, because these days you can't trust Fox News with anything, you know. You fire Tucker Carlson, then everything else goes to pot. Outside of a couple of people who I like on Fox, the majority of it, to me, it's, you're kissing up to the boomers, and it's just doesn't do anything for me anymore. But in regards to this, when you have Joe Dementia on CNN correcting himself with illegals, saying, well, they're undocumented, But instead of saying, hey, you know what? The fact of the matter is that we have allowed 8 million illegals in this country in the last 3+ years under Joe Dementia's policies. That's a fact. That's a fact. It's not made up. It's not pulling something out of the air. Those are factual numbers, and the stats prove it. When you have a majority of them who ran into Border Patrol, the catch and release, and then you have those who have been in this country multiple times, who have gotten caught multiple times, thrown out of the country multiple times, and then came back in multiple times. This is why you get those like this Ibarra piece of shit who killed Laken Riley. It's not the first time. We've had several American women over the last several years killed by illegals who should have never been in this fucking country to begin with. And we have about 40, 50 million, possibly even 60 million illegals in this country since Reagan signed the amnesty bill in November of '86. That's what you get. But this 8+ million, this is unprecedented. Unprecedented. But it's not surprising coming from a dementia-riddled old man with his finger on the nuke who has no problem with flooding the borders, ruining the economy, and wrecking people's lives. This is Joe Biden's America. Election's coming up. Do you want another 4 years of this? Well, I know I don't. But that's just me. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please have a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue to spread the word about the show. Appreciate it much. Help it continue to grow. And we'll see you next time. Peace.